Good morning, everyone. It's me, Joy, the gastric sleeve coach. And today we're going to talk about how to deal with the stubborn thoughts. A couple of weeks ago, we kind of did a little series on mindset, and I was talking to you about taking the thought that you don't like and would like to have a more positive thought about, and just switching it up a little bit. Instead of, I hate my body, start with, I have a body. Good morning, Andrea. And then moving more positive from there. But I know that some thoughts are a lot harder to just switch up and get rid of than others, because in our mind they're just real. It's like they're a circumstance, they're a fact. Even though maybe they aren't, because you can prove them in a court of law, they feel very real to us. And even as we're working on changing them, we are arguing with ourselves because we still believe they're true. And one of my core principles is I don't want to fight with myself anymore. I want to find a way to make the changes I want in a loving way that doesn't cause me to have this battle in my mind all the time. And I don't know, sometime 2-3 days ago, I was on the YouTube and I saw a video with Marie Forleo and Tony Robbins. It was an interview she was doing with him. You may not know either of those people. Marie Forleo is like a business chick, and Tony Robbins is like a self-help guru. I've never been a fan of his. I just didn't, ever look at his work. But I saw this interview, and he said something that I just loved, and I wanted to share it. So when I'm through with this live video, I will drop a link to that YouTube video in the comments. It's kind of a long video, but you can watch it. It's worth it. So anyways, he was talking about how he deals with some of his negative thoughts and emotions. And in his scenario, he was talking about being annoyed with somebody or something. But I really grabbed hold of that and thought about it for my own purposes. So here's what it is. That negative thought, he recognizes it. And if he can't change it, he doesn't. He's like, oh, yeah, that person is really annoying. And what can I think about right now? What can I find to appreciate about this situation right now to take some of that sting off of that negativity, to maybe neutralize it a little bit? So you don't even have to change the thought. The thought can be there. You can accept it, and you can add something to it. So I don't know if you ever, when you were little, fought with your sister and your mom made you guys hug until you were until your punishment was over. So I kind of think of it that way. I'm taking my negative thought and I'm not getting rid of it because it won't go away. My body, my head thinks it's true, and I'm fighting with it if I try to get it to go away. So I'm taking it and I'm letting it stay. Okay, negative thought, you can stay. But you get to be married to this positive thought or this thing that I can appreciate, to neutralize it a little and help you start changing the thinking without fighting with yourself. So I have a specific example for you guys because I think that always helps. And you know that I'm not perfect. I mean, you see me every day. And I'm still working on this stuff myself. So I'm going to tell you guys a real true thought that I still haven't managed to get completely out of my brain, and what I've come up with that helps me appreciate myself more even so. My stomach and my thighs and my arms, honestly, all of me, looks like a freaking Shar-Pei puppy, guys. I know that if you've lost a lot of weight, and most of you have, that skin just folds for days. Okay, I know that it is not a fact that my belly is ugly, because who defines ugly? That is a thought and opinion I have of my belly. It's kind of disgusting. It's just all wrinkly down. And whenever I see my stomach, I don't think, oh, look, I have a stomach that's serving me. I think, oh, wow, what a gross, droopy, wrinkly mess. And I still think that. But to appreciate my stomach, I found a new thought. And this is very specific to my life. So I think it's going to help if you have it very specific. So the appreciation that I'm marrying with that thought is, at least it's flat now. At work, I have to go behind OR tables and get around in an OR, and they're not always big, roomy ORs. Well, maybe you don't know, but the surgery nurses in here do. And it used to be so embarrassing and so uncomfortable to try to get between the wall and the sterile back table. I would have to, try to suck it all in and have the tech scoot her back table in, and it was really hard. And so I can really appreciate that at least my deflated belly, I can get into some pretty tight spaces, and it makes my job a lot more comfortable, and I have a lot less embarrassment of trying to navigate through my workday. So even if, you're not an OR nurse, you can think about that even with like fitting in the seats in the deal or whatever. In the deal, I know. So you can just think about something concrete in the moment, that the thought that you can't get rid of, something that you can appreciate right now, regardless of this thought, if you still feel like it's true, and what can I appreciate about that situation. One more example before I hop off, has nothing to do with weight. I have a 5-year-old, and yesterday he was not listening. He doesn't listen quite frequently. And so I was trimming a bush. He was getting in my way. He wanted to help. I had told him 100 times to, go on, do whatever. And my thought was, he never listens. And I don't want to be frustrated while I'm out there working. The sun's shining. I want to be in a good mood. And so I'm thinking, God, he never listens. And I'm wanting to yell at him. But then I know he'll be upset and it'll all derail. And I think, but he is trying to be helpful. So let me be patient with him and find something that he can do. I still believe the kid doesn't listen very well. And I also believe that he wants to be helpful, and we both want to be in a good mood. So let's just believe, okay, yeah, he doesn't listen. He's trying to be helpful. Let me help him find something that he can do to be helpful. I know, just a couple of concrete things to help you think through it. Lori, you can hang out with me every day on the World Wide Web. Let me know if that, guys, makes sense. If you have any thought that you just can't get rid of right now, good morning, Pam, and you're going to marry it with something that you appreciate about that situation. What can you find in this negative situation that you do appreciate, honestly and truly, and marry them and make them hang out? Tell me about it in the comments down below. So maybe I can borrow your idea for something I'm struggling with. And we can all support you and be like, yeah, that's true, and you're cool. So thanks for the early morning invite. What? I'm crazy. Thanks for joining me this morning. And I love y'all, and I'll talk to you later.